Thanks. I hate it. Just kidding.
Dive on in.
So I can hear the music, but I can't hear like us talking. There we go. Now I can.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I only hear me. I don't think I hear you.
I hear you.
How about now?
Yep.
I know. I'm trying to make sure I can hear myself. Okay, we're good. Yeah. Wait, I can't hear you specifically on the stream. So we'll say something?
Howdy.
Yeah, I can hear him. I think it's just your audio right now.
Everyone in chat will just have to guess from context how we react to things, what's going on.
You react to things, what's going on?
Hey, there's me. Hi, everyone.
What's going on? Hey, there's me. Hey, there's me.
No, not yet.
Aaron, talk.
Still no.
Yeah, you're the only one that's. Yeah,
you're the only one that's. So ironic.
How about now? Is this working now? Because I just realized that the microphone is set to something.
Yeah, you're good now. It needed to.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, needed to.
Okay.
John.
No, what was it you just said for the past like 5 minutes?
Okay. Yeah, right. Just go
There's
back
an audio
and
echo now, repeating and repeating.
it's repeating.
Kind of
Well,
weird.
who's? Let me see. Is it? How about now? Can I still hear it? Oh yeah, that's weird. Okay, I think I know what happened.
You sound better now.
Technical difficulties. Always with the technical difficulties. There we go. This
Yeah,
should
now
fix
it's clear.
This should fix that. Well, because I had it set to where I was supposed to be doing an audio preview, and that's why it was coming out of my computer's speakers, and I was like, what is happening? Okay. Well, that was fun.
Take two.
Take two. Nah, it's fine. They know what's happening. Kind of, not really. All right. So, where were we? Oh, yes. Kindred, you were about to die. No, just kidding. So, as you were there in your room, breath held, the individual that you saw with the bow drawn that had snuck into the room, you hear one of the passing individuals in the hallway kind of whisper into the room quietly in Elvish. Vinren, is there anyone in there? And the individual turns back. No, there's not. Let's go to the next room. And the individual still backs out, still facing the room there. And goes back into the hallway, leaving you, Kindred, alone in your room currently.
All three figures were elvish.
You saw figures walking by. You just heard the two speaking in Elvish.
Okay. And he left the door open?
Yes.
I'll wait a couple seconds to hear, wait to listen for their footsteps to like go away. And then I will slowly make my way to my desk and put my orb in my bag. And Aliquin, your book was with me, right? You left your book on the table?
Got it with me.
Okay. And looking like over my room really quick, make sure I didn't leave anything out. I will slowly peek my head out in the hallway.
Okay.
And just take a quick look to see like all the doors are open by now, and they've probably searched everyone on that level, I'm sure.
Make a perception check as you look.
$12.
12. Looking out into the hallway, you can see at the end of the hallway there is one figure that's there at that far end. And this middle deck at the far end is where the galley goes, right? And at the far end there's a staircase that goes down, and then there's two side doors that lead into the galley, and then there's the there are three doors on either side that are like each individual room. You can see the next two that are past you are kind of cracked open, and on the ones beyond that, you can see two figures waiting for a moment before quite like kind of moving the door and then nudging it open as they pull back their bow and go inside the two far rooms. So they have beyond that, it will be the galley. You can see one person that is now going downstairs into the lower deck section of the ship.
Okay. And would I have known that we were like around the high forest?
You know that you're passing over the high forest. Yeah.
History check on it to see like if there's tribe of elves that live there or anything
Sure.
I would know about it.
Sure.
And history 17.
17. From your knowledge of the high forest, you know that it is such a vast swath of land. It covers about, at its widest, it's almost 250 miles wide, and it has a couple of mountain ranges that are there within it, as well as a couple of like hunter settlements, I guess you could call them. There's a couple of old elven kingdoms that existed at one time within this forest, but have either long since vanished or haven't been seen or heard from in centuries. There's a lot of history in this forest, and there's a lot of, I wouldn't say mystery so much as there's just not a lot that's known for sure because of how dense and deep this forest is. And it
Anything more in detail about the elvish kingdoms that may have or may not have been there?
With that role there, you know that the elven kingdoms that did exist for certain have long since disbanded and gone away for at least close to 500 years now. Leaving behind like tribes and settlements that kind of move about throughout the forest, but don't really get out much. They don't really have much contact with anything or anyone outside of the world. or outside of the forest, I should say.
Okay. I'm just gonna stay put until I see them like leave the hallway and like the galley area. But trying to keep an ear out to what any of them are saying.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception roll again as they are now getting back into the hallway. Adam, downstairs, Galil is with Sparrow and let's say Finch. It's gonna the birds' names are gonna change every time. Sparrow and Grackle, Vulture and Eagle, Hawk and Osprey.
Oh Lord.
The two gnome boys are with you in the lower decks. After you guys had landed, what were you guys doing?
Are you guys okay?
They are both of them had clung to you rather tightly during the initial like fall and crash through the forest canopy. Now they've kind of like gotten themselves like, no, we're fine, kind of thing. Greckle is just like, no, I'm fine. We're fine. I think we should probably go and check on the stuff though, just in case Alina calls us.
Yeah, you guys go ahead and do that. Take Finn with you, just in case.
Okay, sure. And they nervously like get out of the minnow that you guys had been in, and Greckle kind of like pats his lap and is like, come on boy, come on, and goes out into the hallway of the lower deck of the ship, leaving
Hey,
you.
Finn.
So the two boys and Finn go off into they head towards the engine room, basically. They're wanting to check. Everything's okay.
I got a 17 for my perception.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go upstairs to go find everyone else.
Okay. 17 with a 17 perception, you hear at the far end of the hallway the same voice that had gone into your room talk to one of the figures that had gone into the opposite side. Ralden, take Kalilinda, go downstairs, make sure there's no one there. I will go back up with Talrun and Oniraya. We'll tend to those that we have found so far. We want to make sure that they don't... She kind of hesitates and looks down the hallway, like towards you, but doesn't seem to be seeing you. She just kind of stops to listen.
I don't even like take my head back. I just stay still.
She looks back to Ralden. We don't want them to get hurt. Remember, no excessive violence. And then she goes downstairs. Galil, as you are moving towards the stairs leading up, you hear someone coming down the stairs, and you see like water kind of dripping down the stairs as they're coming towards you, and you see immediately two boots that you don't recognize.
I'm gonna back away and try hiding.
Okay. Make a stealth check for me.
What time of day is it? And is there lights?
It's dim light currently because you're inside the ship, and it is now dark.
Thank you. So, $28.
28. Okay. You kind of back up slowly, carefully, making sure that you don't step on any of the wood that might cause the boat beneath it or anything. And you step back into one of the like an alcovey section of the bottom of the ship where you can kind of crouch down into the shadows behind the minnow. You watch as a hooded and cloaked figure comes down to the bottom section of the ship, bow and arrow at the ready, dripping still with the rainwater from above. Patches of their cloak seem to be almost like patches of leaves that have been sewn into the fabric itself to kind of give it a very naturey presence.
So to me, they don't look Thayan at all.
No, they don't look Thayan at all.
Okay,
Yeah, so far.
so far.
But they scout around looking at the two smaller ships here inside the bottom of the ship. You can see it kind of, that person come up closer to you in your general direction. And it passes by, arrow drawn very carefully, kind of moving quietly, almost without a sound except for the occasional of the water that splashes onto the deck. Clearing the area to the best of their ability, they turn around and head back towards the hallway. You see another, or hear another pair of feet coming down the stairs, and as you kind of peek around carefully, you see another same dressed person come down and join the second one. They stop for a second and kind of turn and pull back the hood, and you see a elven female with long brown hair that is currently tied back in this really intricate long single braid that's kind of curled up into the hood of her cloak. As she turns, she kind of her skin catches the light of the lanterns here in this lower section, and you see that despite some of her face having what looks like mud or some sort of moss that's been rubbed onto her face, you can see almost a shimmer of like a silvery tattoo that's on under her eyes and goes over her forehead. She just turns for a moment, kind of observes the lower section, and then follows her comrade deeper into the ship. Currently, Iskra and Aliquin, you are outside. Having been teleported through Dimension Door out into the middle of darkness and feeling instantly wet as the rain falls around you, you guys fall for like 2-3 feet as you just fall onto your backs in on this wet, grassy, wet ground. You can feel the rain falling on you from the great distance above, as you are now outside.
I roll onto my stomach and try to get my bearings.
Okay, make your perception check for me.
I was just an 11.
11.
As soon as I touch down to the grass, I'm gonna roll over, stand up. I'm gonna look at Iskra. I think the ship was under attack. There was someone in the hallway. I panicked. I'm sorry. I grabbed you. I didn't know what else to do. I mean, I just left Kindred up there. I mean, I don't know what else to do right now.
You really gotta warm me when you do that.
I'm sorry.
We're together long enough.
I know.
Just pull on him.
I
If it is
panicked.
under attack,
I know.
you wanna get down.
Okay. I kind of like crouch awkwardly, and what do we do now? We just left Kindred and everyone else up there.
Well, I guess we have to try to get back on the ship.
Oh, do we see the ship from here?
Make a perception check. As Iskra, you kind of glance around, and in the darkness, do you have dark vision?
No.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
Oh, and it doesn't help that we put all the lights out.
And I already cast light earlier, so I can't again.
It's only a 15.
15. As you gather your bearings in Iskra, you can see through the occasional flashes of lightning these ginormous tree trunks, at least 50 to 60 feet, like in width at some points, that just tower up into the air. As you kind of look up, it's like you're looking as a miniature person looking up at these tall trees. It looks you almost have for a moment the feeling of having been shrunken because of how large these trees are in comparison to you. You can't even see leaves at this point or branches. They just seem to tower up into the darkness, and through the occasional crack of lightning, you can see far, far, far up through that falling rain, the canopy far, far above. But looking around Iskra, you just see trees all the way around you. Aliquin, you as well, as you're like looking around, you can see at least a little better. You are in the middle of a rather dense fern-covered forest. The ferns coming up to at times around your knees, almost up to your thighs, as these little bushes that kind of cover and carpet the floor around this forest. You make a survival check for me.
So it's 17 for me.
17?
6.
6? Okay. Aliquin, you remember the feeling as you had grabbed Iskra and pulled her back through the door. The feeling of, like, in your mind, trying to escape and being shunted backwards.
In a straight line, pretty much.
In a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the instinct is to just keep going in a straight line forward.
And I know I can only go about 500 feet, so I turned to Iskra. So I know the ship is that way, and I'm like pointing, like, behind the trees. Like I know it's that way. Do you know how many was on the ship? Like,
I heard whispers, but I don't know how many people were there.
okay, well, I guess you're right. We do need to get back to the ship, and I guess we need to go help our friends. I panicked and poof.
Whatever it was, they were speaking Elven.
No. Oh, well, I don't know Evan, but okay. Well, I kind of like start making my way that way, like towards the ship. And,
Wait, let me hold on to you. I can't see.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. I grab out of my bag a rope, and I tie one end to me, and I'm gonna hold the other end to you, okay?
Perfect.
Because I can see pretty well at night, and I'm also gonna be casting detect magic too, because I know all of our friends are holding the little bitty beads, and I know that's gonna be emitting light. So if I see it, then I'm gonna go straight towards it.
Okay.
I guess.
And detect magic goes for how far?
30 feet.
30 feet.
Yeah. So I know if I get closer to the ship, I can at least see if they're still on the ship or if they're being taken off the ship.
Right. All right. So
We don't
As-
know what we're up against. Yes, up
Oh, boy.
against yet, though. So let's try to be quiet.
Sure. Yeah. Well, as we start walking towards that way, I'm going to try to make a stealth check.
Yeah, I'm also good at
Sure.
stealth.
go for it.
As I start walking, I kind of like look down at my armor, and it's like every single step that I take, my armor kind of clinks every single time. So I'm gonna like kind of hold it, like hold the little
Just hug yourself.
down as I walk. Oh shit! I got a natural 20,
It worked.
but it's a -3, so yeah.
Okay. All right.
So 17.
And it's also disadvantage.
Oh shit! Is it a disadvantage?
Male.
Oh, little D. Oh, okay.
No, that's what the D stands for this time.
Okay, well that's a 4. 4 -3 is a 1.
Okay.
Oh man.
Hold
So-
on, Kindred, I'm coming.
clank, clank, clank.
Borocore.
16 for
Is that
me,
Borocore?
but
Oh God.
All right. So you guys continue to make your way through the wet undergrowth, heading in what the best you can imagine would be a straight line towards the ship that you had quickly exited from. And you keep passing around and moving around through these large trees that just seem monstrously big compared to anything you guys have seen before. Just imagine being basically in a rather thick sequoia rainforest kind of scenario. That's how massive these trees are. And so you guys head back toward the ship. Meanwhile, Sonder and Soul, you are still unconscious. Just passed out. You guys do awaken, but find yourselves bound and gagged inside of the passenger lounge on the top deck of the ship.
All gagged.
Just gagged. Just regular gagged. They do not carry ball gags with them. They aren't those kind of belts.
That's not the fun kind.
That's another part of Ravnica. You have to deal.
no.
You have to go over there. You go over to that side for that.
That's where I want to go.
Okay. All right. So, you guys do wake up, but you are currently have your
Can I
hands
see-
tied behind your back.
Can I see Soul?
Yeah, you guys you're basically like laying down fetal position at the foot of the edge benches that kind of surround the inner cabin area.
How
So you guys
we
are like
tied up,
facing each other.
Arms in front or behind?
Arms behind.
Okay.
Oh, like. Oh. Can I attempt to dislocate my shoulder and go like
No, oh my god.
that kind of thing?
You are
Or actually, I could just do like go under and up around. If that's better.
Locate it.
Hold on. Let me do this.
I saw Diego do it on the Umbrella Academy. And I was like, wow, that's cool.
yeah, because clearly anything on the Umbrella Academy is obviously doable in real life.
Good
And
new
Sonder.
season, by the way.
And so
Yeah.
Okay, so
Can I get in a position where I'm like sitting in a normal position where I'm not laying down anymore, or is it too?
you can make a dexterity check for me.
Straight decks?
Mhm.
10.
10. So as you try and struggle these binds that are tying you back behind your arms behind your back aren't giving in a way that would allow you to be able to move them. They are tied too high up behind your back to allow you to bend and contortion your way out of this.
Okay.
Kindred, what are you doing?
Keeping
currently-
my distance, but trying to follow and listen in to everything they say. I've already heard like 3 names, so I know there's at least like 4 of them.
Mhm.
Trying to like get a head count of everything in the situation. See
Okay.
if they like drop names of like who they got already and whatnot.
Make another perception check for me, and a stealth check for me as well.
Perception is 13.
Okay.
Stealth is 19.
All right. So, as you are following along, you can hear they have all gone now. The ones you have seen have gone below the deck. There was one person, Ralden, who had a a male's voice. He had moved back up to the top deck. The woman who had spoken to him, you have kind of been following as you go down to the lower deck. You know that somewhere down here on this third deck is Galil, although you have not seen him. And there doesn't seem to be any that you have heard. They haven't seemed to have encountered anybody else as of yet that you have seen. They as you get down to the bottom of the staircase, Galil, are you watching the staircase or what are you doing?
I'm paying attention to them.
Okay, so are you following them as they go to the lower deck, or okay?
If there's enough of a distance to like stay back.
Stealthily, of course.
Of course. I would say, Kindred, as you get to the stairs and carefully are making your way down, you would be just in time to see Galil kind of like move into the hallway.
And we already decided that Spy's number won't interrupt invisibility, right?
Yeah, because it's telepathic.
Okay. And then how far away is the elven figure?
They are
from me?
on the lower deck, out of sight currently, because they had gone down and like around below the staircase.
Just trying to remember. If not, Galil put his Spy's number back in. I'm gonna like message him to like, Galil, do you hear me?
You didn't, did you? That's right. You had taken him.
Still the one.
So
All right.
making that check and then realizing he didn't put it back in because he's stupid. And I'm going to, if I like pick up something, it's gonna look like it's floating in the air, right?
Probably.
Okay. Looking in the hallway, like anything around me, or like if I tear a piece of paper out from my journal and like wave it, is it going to be invisible? Or
I would assume everything that's on your body currently is going to be invisible.
that's what I figured. So then I'll look around. Is there anything like I could pick up that's like not something that I can wave to like maybe get his attention about motion?
Not in the staircase, a stairwell that you are going down. There are some lanterns that are hanging along the stairwell that kind of provide a dim light for the lower area.
No, because I don't want to alert the others as well. So I'm just going to try to keep track of the elven intruders and keep track of Galil as well to see like what happens.
All right. So as you guys are going in that lower deck, Galil, up ahead of you, you see them open one of the doors, and you hear Grekel and I'll say Carp. God damn it! All the animals. Grekel and Mackerel are.
Oh God.
You hear that one of them like, "Who are you?" And you hear Finn screech really loudly.
Do I hear that?
Yes, you both would have heard. You see at the far end of this hallway that you guys are at, you can see one of the remaining elven figures that are in the hallway rush towards that end room where the other person had wandered in. So now there's two going into that room.
So passing me, or he's already down there?
They're already at the other end of the hallway.
Okay. Hearing that, I'm like gonna fly down the stairs, and I'm going to ready magic missile and just yell out like, "Don't touch them!"
So you, Galil, as you were like sneaking along all like Kronk and Emperor's New Groove along the side of the wall here. You hear the of Kindred of footsteps walking by you, and you hear Kindred's voice as suddenly Kindred appears in the hallway, hand extended with circling magic going around her arm as she shouts that. You can see that one of the hooded figures comes out into the hallway from the door, and looks down the hall and sees Kindred and immediately pulls back the bow. Seems to be ready to attack. You hear the voice shout out in Elvish. Who are you? Where did you come from?
My name is in Elvish. My name is Kindred. We had to land our ship due to emergencies, and we want no excessive violence either. But do not touch them.
You hear there's for a moment she doesn't speak, and you hear no other sound coming from the room. Galil, you hear all this transpire out in front of you. What are you doing?
Ready my bow.
You're gonna step out of the shadows?
And ready my bow.
Okay. Step out of the shadows, almost like a wraith from the shadows itself, as it just kind of appears out. Galil standing behind Kindred, bow drawn and ready. You can hear Finn inside the room let out like a hissing, like warning sound. A sound that you know is like the back off, fucker.
Home invasion training. Home invasion training.
It just seems like a hissing, threatening noise. The figure that had entered that room where the boys and Finn had been in starts to back out, hands raised up at the sides, like paying attention to whatever is inside the room, and kind of bumps into the elven woman that you had seen earlier. She's the one that has the bow drawn. You can see her face, while stoic at first, drops the intensity for a moment and stares at Kindred. You speak our tongue very well for a hobgoblin.
It's my native tongue. Now shut the door and leave them alone.
The bow, still drawn tight as it's aimed at you, lowers just slightly. How many of you are on this ship? I see now 2 that escaped our first pass. And you hear the tone of her voice wasn't really telling you; it was talking to the person that's behind. But she was like, still talking to you, but the emphasis was given to the person that was supposed to have checked the rooms already.
You have most of us already. We managed to sneak through. But I will not allow you to hurt those 2 in that room over there, because I'm still holding magic missile.
Seeing the magic, and Galil behind you, she looks over Kindred's shoulder back at Galil. Is that your creature in that room?
Yes, it is. Now back away from them and leave the ship now.
She looks back at the other person with them.
So Galil's behind me?
Yes, Galil's behind you.
Okay, I don't even turn.
Yeah.
I just recognize them.
Yeah. Talrun, it seems that these people are not involved in the hunt. We will go now.
What hunt?
Perhaps you lower that magic, and we will be able to speak.
Once you shut the door.
She looks back, and then Elvish tells Talrun to shut it. And you see him reach for the door, but then the door slams as if one of the boys on the inside had slammed the door on his face instead.
The smallest
both-
grin is on my face, and once it's shut, then I'll lower my hand and dispel the magic.
Okay.
That still expends a spell slot, though, right?
If it's magic, if you were holding it and didn't use it, yes. You can see her lower the bow carefully and then knock the arrow. Neither one of you are from around these parts. You came at the very inopportune time.
Our
Where's-
ship got hit by the storm.
Well, storm is not exactly what I was talking about, but you all are in grave danger.
Why is that? Who's hunting? And hunting what?
We are hunting. And there is a great evil that is outside in these woods in this storm right now we were tracking whenever your ship came crashing down from above. Whatever the beast that we are trying to find is not far. And we were trying to make sure that nobody on the ship would cause us any more harm than
So
we
hearing
are
her
already
s-
facing.
Hearing her say beast, I'm gonna turn back to Galil and just be like, beast? Any senses going on with that?
We're in a forest, right?
Yeah.
6 mile time. Primeval awareness.
6 months. I feel like you almost just rubbed your nipples because you just got so excited. You're like, oh yeah, we're in a forest, baby.
After like saying that to him, I'll turn back to the female and ask like, is this beast special in any particular way?
Yeah, you could say that.
How so?
She looks back at the other person who also pulls her hood back, revealing another female elf. This one's hair is cut short and wild, kind of falls around her ears. You can see that her skin, while the main one you were talking to, whom you've now heard enough exchanges to assume is Vinren. And she has the tattoos that you can kind of see in the dim light. This other girl has much darker skin, almost to the point of being drow in how dark it is. Her face is, but she also has raven black hair. That's the cut, short and wild, and she has what looks like moon sigils painted under both her eyes and over her head in crescent moon shapes. This is Oniraya. I am Vinren. We are from the Mirth Sphere tribe.
History check?
Sure.
$15.
15.
Mm-hmm.
The name doesn't sound like any of the bigger names that you've heard of before. And with knowing how many smaller tribes exist in the forest, it's
Hard to know
probably
everyone.
hard to know all of them. But it doesn't sound like any of the big names that you are familiar with.
Okay.
Perhaps if you will allow us to gather the rest of my men.
What have you done with the rest of our men?
We have not we have not harmed anyone. She raises her hands up. We swear it. But we could not risk alerting the creature that we are hunting by any sort of loud noises or combat.
Knowing that,
But they are fine. They are upstairs. Ralden is up there with them right now.
on the top deck of our ship,
Yes, there's a small little room with windows.
do I know what room she's talking about?
The passenger lounge.
I point to it and try to message Sonder. Can you hear me?
You hear the little voices by your ear. As we cannot because you are muted, but you can.
I can hear.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, me and Sol are up here. We were captured. Are you guys okay?
I know that. Yes, we're fine. We're here. I'm here with Galil. It's fine. You'll be okay. We'll be up shortly. Just don't fight them or do anything stupid.
Okay. Alright. You guys handled that well. I thought we were going to die in the forest by some crazy
I've already cut it
creature.
off.
Oh.
So Sol, you're up there too. I mean, you didn't hear this. You've kind of woken up as well, kind of coming to at this point.
Sol. Hey, are you okay?
So then, all
Did
right,
you
so-
get unbound and your gags out, or?
Oh, never mind. Oops, yeah, I forgot about that.
Can't forget the ball gag.
I'm just gonna.
It's
hold
not a
Sol.
ball gag. I shout loudly enough for the neighbors to hear.
I'm gonna hold Sol's hand if I can.
Oh. So yeah, I'll turn over so that we can.
So
do
you're
that.
back to back and you can just hold each other's hands.
Okay.
Adorable. Gay. I love it. Okay.
So then after checking on them, I'm gonna turn back, talking to the female, asking like in Elvish, asking if they know the common. Do you know the common tongue?
They were talking to you in common.
Oh, they were.
Yeah. So
Okay,
Galil
then-
heard what, yeah. That's why when she said you speak our language well, she actually said that in common. Sorry. I should have clarified.
So then, responding back in comment, you scared one of our others, and they left, teleported outside in the forest. What is this beast? So that way I can tell him about it.
She turns to the other woman. We must go outside now. They have two others that are outside in the woods. We must go. Follow us. And then she starts moving cautiously towards you because she knows the entrance. That's the stairwell that she knows is on that side. But there is another one. Right? No, there's only that one. So it's on the front of the ship.
Okay, I'm gonna actually head towards the door with the Grackle and Sparrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tell them like it's me, like call out to them and try to open the door.
Yeah, it's not locked. But you can
Okay.
see that Sparrow has the penny whistle that he had, and he's holding it like up, like he's gonna try and stab somebody with it.
So once I open the door, I'm just gonna grin and see him doing that.
I'm gonna go upstairs and use primeval awareness.
Okay. Yeah. You follow the other two women go past you. Onaraya kind of like gives you a once over as you pass by. Just goes, and then continues on, going up the upstairs, going upstairs. And you follow with them. Go ahead and with your senses. Oh, it's not really a roll, right? You just get a sense out for whatever it is.
6 miles for 1 whole minute.
6 miles. Oh, that's right. Once you get to the roof of the ship, or I should say not the roof, but the you know what I meant. The deck of the ship, and you feel the rain falling around you. You kind of breathe in that fresh, wet, earthy smell as you are taking it all in. And you extend your senses outwards. And you kind of over-expanding bubble that kind of just keeps going and going and going. And you feel a shudder go down your spine. as somewhere in a certain direction that you can feel. Not really sure which way is north, east, or west, but you feel in that direction there is a large, evil, undead presence. And it's not just one. You sense another. And another. And there's just like this little, almost sickening, twisted feeling that just extends in your, out into the darkness. Whatever it is, pretty nasty. Meanwhile,
So, finding them in the door, I'm gonna tell them like, it's gonna be okay. They're not gonna hurt you, but we do have to go find the others. So I want y'all to stay here and stay safe. I'm gonna actually pull out my wand of pyrotechnics. And so who was holding the penny whistle?
Sparrow.
So then I'll give it to Grackle and say, if anything comes and you need help, I want you to shoot this straight up in the air. It'll cause a loud firework and we'll see it and we'll come straight to you.
Inside the ship?
Outside the ship.
Oh.
Or point it out a window.
You see Sparrow look over at his brother, and both of them have the biggest smile spread across their faces.
I'm gonna like I'm gonna do like one of those moms like snap my fingers like, hey, look at me. This is serious. And don't play with this right now.
Okay.
They're gonna go ahead and play Harry Potter with it.
They are. So then I'll give him my wand.
Okay.
And
all right.
With that, I'll shut the door and then head back with the others.
Back up with the others?
On the way, Spy's murmuring Eloquin, since it goes up for a mile. Hey, you teleported too soon. You need to come back to the ship right now. There's something nasty out there, and we need you back.
So, I don't know about Iskra, but I'm not even trying to be quiet at all. I'm just like, faster than a jog back to the ship, clanking that like as I'm going. What?
It's in your head.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, as you do.
What do you mean? Like, what's out here?
It's some sort of beast. We don't know, but hurry up and get back because it's really bad, whatever it is.
I kind of turned to Iskra, like I guess she didn't hear it, did she? It was just me.
Yeah, my spice murmur is still back in the room
okay.
with the cores wearing, because Aeon and I.
So you guys are out in the middle of the forest currently.
Mm-hmm. How far away from the ship are we?
It's hard to tell. You've been traveling now for like a minute or so. You're going in the direction that you assume is the right one. Go ahead and make a survival check for me.
Oh shit. Well, as I'm doing this, I'm actually going to tell Iskra. So Kindred just messaged me and said that there's something out here on the ship, or there's something out here in the woods, and I guess we left the ship too soon or something. I don't know. But for survival, 19 plus 5.
19 plus 5.
And I got a 18.
18. All right. So you navigate pretty well. You come around the corner of one of the trees, and a flock of birds just suddenly takes off from right in front of you as you had entered into the bushes around it, and it kind of startles the both of you.
Yeah,
you now see.
Yeah, absolutely.
You now are very hyper aware of how dark and menacing it feels outside. As peaceful as the rain feels, and it seems like the thunder has died down a little bit. It hasn't been as bright. You kind of almost wish that it was around still, because it was providing at least some occasional illumination of the area around you.
I kind of loop the extra rope around my arm and keep myself closer.
A little
to
closer.
Eloquin.
You're gonna lube with the extra rope?
Yeah, I
Loop.
lube the extra rope so we can move
up to your
through
elbow,
the forest
yeah,
better.
totally.
Yeah, and then
God.
down here too.
That's why they call it elbow grease.
But well, that's our show for tonight. We're gonna go now.
Man, good night,
Jesus.
guys.
And we're done.
We
Okay.
got members of the party all tied up. We got ball gags.
We
It's
got
a
laid
wild.
down.
We have lubed rope, so it's a party on a Tuesday night, apparently.
But yeah,
Okay.
So I'm explaining to Iskra. I guess we left the ship too soon. Kindred said that there was something out here in the woods. He didn't explain like what it is. Like as I'm talking, I'm going to be looking around to see because I still have my detect magic on. Do I see anything at all? Like with that roll?
Nothing that pings any sort of magical essences around you at the moment.
Okay.
Nothing.
Well,
to-
hey, usually it's better safe than sorry, right?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no,
Maybe we're sorry instead of safe. It sounds like.
well, I mean, I guess we should still like head back to the ship. I'm gonna kind of like put my hands back on my armor, and I'm gonna try to be stealthy one more time. And I think we should get to the ship as quickly as possible, but yeah, I want to get there fast, but also want to get there quietly though.
Yeah, even if we don't want to hide from the ship, if there's something out here, then I agree. You know, back home, they put leather on the undersides of the scales, the thieves.
I may try that when I get back to the ship. Well, if we get back to the ship. I mean, I do still have one spell slot left that I can get us back to the ship quickly. But, I mean, if we get there,
And need to run again?
well, yeah, and I won't have anything, like, else to fight with, I guess.
Well, let's just take it slow then. I'm sure we'll get there.
Okay,
Safety first.
okay. I'm gonna try to stealth one more time.
Sure.
So, stealth. So, at disadvantage. Okay, so no. The first one was a 19, -3. Disadvantage 2, -3.
I got a 23. Can I still pour in?
Can't you just pick me up and hold me?
Just carry you
That's
through the
fun.
woods. Yeah. You guys continue to head in the direction that is you can best figure is the ship. As you are heading your way, and that occasional crack of lightning kind of lights up the sky, and you can see in a very eerie way how the entirety of the forest floor kind of lights up and reflects that light. And for a moment, you swear you saw a shadow in one of the flashes of like just a shadowy figure kind of standing there. And as the lightning flashes once again, it's just for that brief moment that you swear you see a shrouded individual that then just disappears on the next flash of light. And you can feel your heart start to beat.
It just started beating.
Oh, well, you can feel it now.
I'm no longer dead. Cool. I like kind of like turn to Iskra. I don't really say anything. I just like
I
This point.
nod slowly. Like, I think we need to hide right now.
we both kind of like one of the big giant trees. I kind of like get behind and kind of like crouch behind it.
Same.
Okay. So go ahead and make a
Clink,
stealth
clink,
check.
clink, clink, clink.
Make a stealth check. Now that you were, I will say, now that you are not moving, we won't do it so much at disadvantage this time. Now that you were just trying to hide.
Oh, okay. Because yeah. 19, 18, 17, 16. So 16 for me. It's the highest one. That's the highest one ever.
No, I also got a 16.
Yay!
Nice. You guys sit quietly and you kind of crouch down into the roots of one of the trees closest to you. As you crouch down into the wet undergrowth, and you almost disappear. Your heads kind of disappear into the ferns and bushes around you, and you kind of wait, and you wait. You hear the thunder rolling in the distance. You see that again, that crackle of lightning, and you see probably 30 to 40 feet in front of you, in one of the trees, a figure walks out from behind the tree. And in that brief flash, you see it, Iskra. Aliquin, you're watching as this figure in that black and white vision of dark vision prowls out from around the tree. You see a long, sinewy arm kind of grab at the edges of the tree as it kind of walks past it and peers around into the forest around you. This creature is probably about 8 or 9 feet tall. As they look about themselves, you can see what looks like shimmery leather that kind of just falls, where the rain is falling along the shimmery leather, as it then spreads these wide wings, wider so than, well, I guess Iskra, you saw the creature that you guys had fought outside of Everesca. This creature is far larger than that. And now that you see its head, you see just the lower section of its mouth, as the upper section seems to be hidden in shadow of some sort of helmet that has these long curving horns that just kind of go out, extending up and curving downwards. You see through another distant flash of, or actually this one will be a closer flash of lightning. As the light flashes across the sky, you can see the mouth open with these long, jagged, sharp teeth. And you both smell the stench of death. As you hear this creature looking and searching about in the forest around you. You hear it kind of just lets out a low growl. As it kind of looks about and slowly stalks towards another tree, still not heading in your direction, kind of going just like parallel to you as it goes to another tree. You can see the underbrush around it as it trails, trailing behind it. You see two other shapes that kind of like, you see for the moment a bear's skinned back of like some sort of humanoid that seems to be moving on all fours as these for a moment stop, and you see a ghoulish human that kind of pokes its head up slowly from the ferns around you. You can see a long serpentine-like tongue that just kind of like seems to lick at the air, almost as if it's tasting to sense where you might be before it like sinks down into the ferns and starts following and trailing the larger creature that you can just barely hear the occasional soft thum, thum, as it moves out of sight around you guys. Meanwhile, back on the ship,
Since I made it up top, do I see Cylinder and Soul?
As you made it to the top, yeah, you see there, once you come up, you're immediately met with a knocked bow to as they seem to be not ready for you to come up, and then they see that you are being followed with the other two elven women, and that's when you first arrived at the top. There's a brief conversation between them, and I can stop the crazy heartbeat now, because now I'm getting anxiety. As you, Sonder and Soul, you can hear the door open, and one of this hooded figure comes over, and you can hear the cut bindings of your arms being freed. You can hear them, a man's voice. You're free to go now.
Thank you.
We are not here to cause trouble. but you are in
do.
danger.
Oh. What is it?
As he extends a gloved hand out to lift both Sonder and Sol. You guys watch as Galil walks past you to the front of the ship, and that's when you did your sense, and you know which direction this evil creature is, and it is not far.
Look at Galil, and just nod to him, like as a are we okay? Is everything okay?
Yeah, but they're trying to hunt something, and I sensed undead, so I think that's what they're trying to hunt. Where's
Zagaru,
Aliquin and Iskra? I haven't seen them at all.
I don't know. I figured they were captured like we were.
Huh.
Have you seen Kindred or Grandma? Ellie?
Yeah, Kindred's downstairs. I think
Kids?
she's coming up. The kids are safe with Finn.
Vinren turns to you both. There was a young man that we also kind of incapacitated and left him in his room.
Oh.
He should
Aelin.
he should wake up soon, I'm sure. But if you wish to go wake him, just smack him around a little bit. It usually helps.
Sonder, tell Kindred to do that. Sol, you and Sonder come with me, and we'll go search for that undead shit.
Here,
Vinren puts hearing you say this, puts a hand up on your chest. Before you go, let us join you. We are hunting this creature.
Of course.
Let us gather all of our people together. Together we might have a chance.
I'm gonna get my spice murmur and see if I can message Aliquin.
Okay.
Or Iskra. Channeling both of them. Are you guys around? Are you on the ship?
Aliquin, you just finished watching the creature disappear around into the darkness, and you hear a voice suddenly startle you from inside your head as Sonder's voice pops in telepathically.
I
Wait a
grab
minute.
Alec
Did
when
they
he
give you your
jumps.
spice murmur back?
They never took it out.
It was still
No,
in there.
no,
I
'cause
He
you
was
said
unconscious. He
conscious.
was unconscious.
That's why. Okay.
And it's in your head, so
Yeah.
Yeah, we're fine. We're in the woods about 300 feet away ish. There's some kind of creatures out here. Could I tell what they are? Do they look undead? Do they look ghoulish?
They looked ghoulish, and they definitely reeked of death
So
and
yeah,
rot.
Yeah. We're hidden now. They're going kind of in the opposite direction of us, but if we move, they will definitely see us. I can get us back to the ship very quickly, but
they might follow you.
well, that too. But who was on the ship? Were we being attacked?
We were being attacked, but Kindred was able to, I guess, figure out how to calm them down. They're hunting this creature, I think, that you speak of. So we're going to go find you, and hopefully these elves want to hunt the creature and kill it. It's pretty bad. So just stay where you're at, or if you're about 300 feet away, let me know what direction you are, so we can head that way.
I kind of turn to Iskra, and can I despise murmur her? I mean, she's like
She
right from
doesn't.
me.
She doesn't have hers on.
Damn. Okay.
But you can whisper the old-fashioned way. You can spy. You can spy
Okay.
whisper.
Okay. Iskra, this may be risky, but I told them kind of where we are, but if I shot a fireball up in the air, they could probably see us, and they could come come help us. But if that were to happen, I'm kind of like pointing to the scary creature thingies. They would probably see us too. So if I were to do this, we would have to be ready to either fight or run.
I shake my head slowly this way, and I put my hand on his mouth, and then I just go like this.
So, did I hear anything that Sonder was saying to Aliquin?
No, because it's all telepathic.
Okay.
I'll go and let everyone know through the telepathic thing that Eloquin and Iskra are about 300 feet away. I guess
But yeah.
those who are on the thing that can hear, or that have the spies murmur on, but that they are about 300 feet away and that that monster's there. And I'll go and let the elves know as well.
So, Galil, as you are hearing this, and you can hear that you heard that Aliquin knows that it's close to them, you know where you sense the undead.
I'm gonna rush to them.
Okay, well,
It just takes off running. Done.
Oh yeah.
are you just gonna leap
There you
over the
go.
edge?
I'm gonna leap and stealth all the way there, and I do it at normal pace.
Okay,
Yes.
so
I'm gonna follow.
by this point, Kindred and the rest of the elven group, there are 5 of them total, and they've watched Galil leap over the edge as everyone is kind of gathered together for a moment, and Vinren looks over at the rest of you guys like, does he normally just run off for no reason?
Wait, oh yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's stupid.
Kindred, can you wake
Dude.
up?
Oh, you found that was already in process while you guys were having that previous conversation. So, Kindred,
So I
you
don't want him
found
to wake up and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill everyone."
yeah, no, you found Aelin, and he was still unconscious and knocked out, but you managed to wake him up and kind of tell him in a really quick cliff notes something's going down. He offers to either go with you guys or stay on the ship to keep things safe there.
In case there are more creatures or we don't come back, it'd be best to keep the kids safe. Or you can come with us. No worry. I mean, whatever you feel.
If everyone's going on the ship, going out there, I'd rather someone stay behind just in case.
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I am doing conjure animals, and I'm summoning 8 giant bats, and gonna have them fly in the direction towards where we think Aliquin is, more or less.
Nobody knows. The only person who knew where Aliquin was Galil. So everybody else just saw Galil run off into the forest, and he didn't tell anybody anything. He just took
I
off.
thought I knew like the general direction because he
Yeah.
pointed before he dimension doored, so I just have an idea.
Yeah, he just the general direction of yeah. He pointed behind him, like out,
Yeah.
is what he had done. So you can kind of get a general like pie cone. It could be somewhere in that general space.
Okay,
And
so
then after, at some point, I would have started ritual casting Kindred Guard, and they tip to try to
You
get it
don't.
off.
Okay. Well, you can stay behind and do that if you want, but this is not okay. Everybody is Vinren tells everyone the creature is close. She's telling her people this. Creature is close. Looking over at Sol and Sonder and Kindred as you are kind of murmuring to yourself doing the casting. This creature is old, and it brings with it death and changes shadows to fight for itself. Be wary. If the more light we have, the more we can be able to see less the chance of shadows, but it will also then know where we are. Don't allow them to get close to you.
What happens when they get close to you?
Just don't let them happen.
Okay. We've encountered something similar, but this thing was a nightmare. It sucked the energy out of you.
It does something similar to that, I believe.
We will be wary.
Then let us go. It seems your friend we're losing your friend, and we believe he might know the way.
I
And
want to
you
get
can
my
see one after another.
Yeah.
There are 2 men and 3 women amongst this elf crew. They pull up their hoods and leap over the sides, and like take off into the woods.
I'm gonna have my bow ready and take off as well with Soul.
Okay. Soul, are you still gonna do the bats or?
Yeah, so I didn't get to finish.
Yeah.
So I'm summoning the 8 bats, sending them in that direction where we think Aliquin and Isqua are, and then I'm doing wild shape so I can shape into a horse, I think, or a steed. I have to double check. But and then let Sonder ride on me so we can start
Nice.
going in that direction.
Yeah.
All right, Kindred, are you staying behind to finish your casting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm
You
gonna
stay
ride
on the
Soul.
ship. All right. So as you guys head out in that direction, Galil heading towards where you assume Aliquin and Iskra are, awaiting
Aelin
in
stay
the
with me?
shadows. Aelin's staying on the ship. He was gonna stay on the ship just
Okay.
in case. We are gonna go and take a quick break before we get into this next section. So don't go far. There is a lot more to come. And it should be pretty crazy. make it
Happy
more
finale.
apparent.
What? What do you mean?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What do you mean? I don't know what you could possibly mean by that. Where would you hear such
No.
dramatic information? Certainly not from me. I would never. Oh. I would never.
It's a TBK time.
You know. No, I don't think so. Why would I do that to you guys?
As
That was-
Kindred tells Granny, everybody left. We need to go, and we leave with the ship.
Oh no! Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. All right. All right. So, last we left off, you guys were, Iskra, Aliquid, hiding in the bushes, and in the dark of the not so scary forest, after having seen the large creature walk slowly from tree to tree through the flashes of lightning. You saw that it was being trailed behind by what appears to be two smaller creatures that poke their head up and kind of sniff the air and were really creepy with their tongues. And I have a sneeze that's like on the verge of my nose that's not coming out. Okay. It's gone. It's fine. Galil had sensed the presence of something undead and had rushed off into the darkness, going as quickly as he could to get over to Aliquin and Iskra's position. Sonder and Sol had joined the Mirth Spear hunting party as they ran after Galil in hopes of being able to catch up to wherever he might be. Kindred had stayed behind on the deck of the ship. Or are you going trailing behind after them, or staying behind?
No, I would have stayed inside. That way my book doesn't get ruined as I cast my ritual.
Okay. So you're staying on the ship. Is what I'm saying.
For now.
Okay. Soul had wild shaped. Did you see if you could Did you check to see if you can do a steed? I don't know if you can do a steed yet. I think you can.
I did an elk. It's a large beast.
Okay.
Instead.
All right. As you, Sonder, are riding on the back of Soul in beast shape. And then you had commanded these bats. What are they doing?
So they're looking for Iskra and Aliquin. They have echolocation and blind sight. So they're scanning, looking for them, and then going to report back to me when they find them.
Okay. So, currently, Aliquin and Iskra, you guys are sitting there, haven't seen anything for the moment. You know that your friends are headed that direction soon. What are you guys doing?
I'm just trying to be as quiet as possible right now and as still as possible.
Aliquin, same.
Did we see what direction they actually walked?
So from where you were standing, or let me just turn on the camera. That way you can kind of
Oh,
get
he already has a
visual.
map laid out.
I do. Just in case. So currently you are kind of hiding in the crooks of the trees, and there's a couple of like larger bushes, but the whole area it has about knee-high foliage of mostly ferns and plants of that nature. You had seen the creature walk from this section here and kind of go along that direction. From kind of going from one tree to the next as it kind of lumbered slowly along. So you're gonna stay put. What are you guys doing?
I'm also gonna kind of stay put for now. Who are
Okay.
you?
Make a perception check for me.
Ooh.
22.
22.
17.
17. As you kind of are listening in on the rain, you can hear that it starts to lighten a little. You just hear it kind of lightly falling around you guys. Not nearly as strong as it had been moments before. There was like 5 different things going on. You can hear the creaking of wood. It seems like the trees kind of moving ever so carefully, but you don't see anything that seems to note of its passing or where it might be around you guys. Galil, as you are running through the forest as quick as you can while trying not to make any extra noises, because you said you're going at a normal pace, right?
Going stealthily.
Okay. So go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
Forty.
Wait, what?
40. Stealth is doubled right now since I'm in the forest.
Yeah. I'm just I was just making sure that I heard you appropriately.
You gotta stop sticking us in the middle of forest.
I know, right? You would think that would just learn eventually that
Let's go to the city next.
I mean, it's fine. You know. As you are running through the forest quickly and quietly, like the very well-trained ranger that you are and always have been, you go and you head in that direction that you had last felt that blip of undead energy. And as you're running and the primeval awareness finally it wears off, because it's only for a minute, right?
Yep.
You just keep plowing through the underbrush, moving silently as you are doing so.
I'm gonna keep an eye out just in case.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check for me as you are heading that direction. Soul, on the back of Saunders, you're following the elves, right? As they are... No. Sorry, the other way around. Sonder on the back of Soul, as you guys are following. Are you just following the elves? 30? Okay. You're muted, by the way, Sonder.
I would like to follow at their speed. If they're going to stealth, then we'll try to stealth, and if they're going fast,
they are charging rather quickly at this point.
Okay.
Because they're trying to
figure
follow. They're
the
following.
beast, so.
Well, they know the beast, but they're also trying to follow Galil because he's the one who had sensed it, and they had gathered as much.
I'm keeping up pace with them, but as soon as if I hear anything back from one of the bats, then I'm going to go full speed towards that direction.
Cool. I'm
Okay.
okay with that too.
Make a perception check for the bats for me. Just one perception check will cover all.
Okay. Oops, sorry.
How long do the bats last?
Well, that was a
It's
lot.
1 hour.
Nice. Nice.
So their passive perception is 11, so I roll for them, or is it going to be my?
No, you roll for them. With their senses.
Wisdom modifier, right? All right, so 1 is 11.
Oh, you're just doing one as a whole,
Oh, got it.
because otherwise you'll be just rolling forever. So as they are flying out, question, because I've worked with druids ever. So if you are in your beast shape, you can still communicate with them.
Yeah, well, they can come back and like talk to me. It's not like a psychic connection. I have
Animals.
the animal speak, yeah.
Okay, so it's not like they mentally can talk to you. Got it.
Right, right.
Um, so the bats fly out into the woods and do the best that they can to search. For a moment, Aliquin and Iskra, as you guys are sitting there hiding, you hear the sound of flapping wings flying overhead as several large creatures seem to be flying about the forest. Occasionally, you hear the of like the some sort of like echolocation sounding
Things.
a bat times 100, huge in size as it flaps through the forest, occasionally dodging and swooping through branches. In a brief flash of distant lightning, you can see one of the creatures, these large, leathery wings just flying out from tree to around another tree and dashing through another tree. What are you guys doing?
Considering the things that we saw before also were big and scary.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So they come through and then pass. You having rolled pretty high on your last stealth check, they don't seem to pick up anything. So eventually the bats start flying back to you, kind of swirling over your head as you guys are making your way through the forest. Eventually, you guys get to a part where the elves start slowing down, and Galil, you feel like you are getting close to the area in which you had felt its presence last. The bats did not find anything in their search,
Okay.
other than a strange smell that was seemed to be coming from the forest floor.
While I saw the bats, like as it like flew, and then I guess flew that way, then I guess went back.
Yeah,
towards-
just kind of they were just kind of flying around. You can hear that there were several of them that kind of just fly, and then they never like hover around or keep looking or anything. They're just kind of flying through the forest in the area.
Mm-hmm. I want to. I already have my familiar that I can just create, right?
Mhm.
My familiar. Okay. I'm gonna summon my familiar, but be invisible
Okay.
in front of me.
The leaves and ferns in front of Aliquin kind of shift and move as if some small creature is there in front of you guys. You hear the little voice.
Master, master. Quiet. Yes. Shh. Quiet. We should be quiet. I am being quiet.
Balak, fly up. See everything. See the ship. See our friends and see us. And come back and tell me exactly what you see.
Fly. It's wet. It is wet outside. I do not like this.
You hear the as it like flaps its wings up into the treetops above you. Make a perception check for Black.
Oh shit.
Galil, you are now approaching the last known spot that you can remember. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna hide and keep looking until I see anything.
Okay, make a perception check for me. Sonder, 27. You now waist deep in this underbrush, kind of keeping a lookout, crouching down as best as you can to kind of not stand out as much. You smell something that smells rotten. It smells like death. It smells really bad. It seems to be coming from somewhere close by. somewhere behind you, you can hear the bushes rustling. And peering over your shoulder, you can see several of the hunting party that seem to be kind of spreading out in an area close to where you're at. Silent little elf team 6, hand signals go out, and they start kind of separating and moving out in a formation around this area that you're at. But you are close.
And do I see Sonder and Soul? Or
You see behind them a large elk that Saunders seems to be riding on top of.
Huh. Fair enough. I'm gonna make my presence known to them
Okay.
and just say they're around here somewhere.
Okay. Iskra, Aliquin, you guys hear movement in the bushes surrounding you again, and your body starts to tense up as you start to expect something. You can hear the underbrush moving. Vlak tells you,
Master, there are creatures approaching you now. Many creatures.
I kind of tap Iskra, and I kind of like give her the notion to like get ready, I guess.
I start focusing on the rain around me and start readying to be able to cast Jetstream if I need to.
Mm-hmm. No, then other than that, I'm just gonna stay still. Does Black see like what direction, and does he recognize?
well, I mean, he's currently just telepathically telling you things, but I can't really point in any direction. But he's like,
Master, there's someone close to you now. There's someone close.
I'm gonna go into
you hear
like I'm
a twig snap, and off to your left, and you see a very wet Sonder come around the corner of the tree.
Are you guys okay?
I
try to-
exhale deeply.
yeah. I try to not be like startled, and I kind of like grab his shoulder and pull him down like to where we're sitting.
There's a Soul at.
He is close. I mean, he would have been close by to you. I only have that little person there. I don't have an elk. Sorry. Oh, wait.
So, ooh,
I don't have an elk, but I have a centaur.
oh, that's cool. That might work.
So, I'm assuming you're staying in. Are you staying in elk form still?
Yeah, for the time being.
I'm gonna cast Shape Water and kind of have a small cover from the water where we're all crouching.
Okay. You hear further movement around in the area. Do you tell anybody? Oh, I guess Galil. Eventually, you do see that they do seem to have found Aliquin and Iskra.
I whisper to Sonder, big wingspan, a lot of teeth, 2 friends.
I'm going to take the water that's falling and try to make a thin wall that's like against the tree, and then around that. So just 2 thin walls that are a dark. I'll change the color to be like a black, murky watercolor.
Okay. What else are you guys doing? So, what are you doing? You see that they are close by. You lost track of the other elves. They seem to have either dipped under below the foliage or have just completely gone out of sight.
Okay. I'll just keep an eye out. Pretty sure I don't know if I'd be able to hide under Saunders' water shield thing.
Yeah, no. There's just a small space. So you're just So you're
Yeah.
keeping an eye out. Make a perception check
Yeah.
for me.
13.
13. Okay. You don't see anything, but you do get the scent of decay and rot. In fact, all of you are smelling it once again. Iskra, Aliquin, that scent that you had smelled before seems to have returned.
Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, apparently when I wild shape, I keep my skills. You retain your alignment and blah blah blah, intelligence, wisdom, charisma scores, and retain all your skills.
Yes,
So that
but your
would have
but your
been
senses are still that of the animal. So your skills
right.
are there, yeah, but the senses that you're using are that of that animal that you are.
So my perception would have been an 18 instead.
Okay. Then it's still the same. You don't see anything, but you do sense their sense of smell is strong enough to something is close, and it is smells of death.
I'm going to point and whisper, just so you guys know, the way back to the ship is straight that way. Um, we have Galil and the elves with us. They're on our side, and they need to hunt this beast.
So us, our party, are we trying to help them, or are we just trying to get back to the ship and leave?
I think we're trying to help at this point.
I turned to Iskra. Well, if we're gonna fight, they're right there.
They you say that, and you can hear the wood, like a branch from above comes cracking and falling down, kind of with this loud crash that seems to echo so loudly in the area around you, from a tree probably 30 feet in front of you guys, from somewhere in like this vicinity.
We could get to sneak up on them, and then at least we'd have a surprise attack before everything starts. Ooh! Oh no!
You can hear a growling sound kind of come from somewhere out in the distance around you, and you can feel the ground beneath you just kind of occasionally tremble with like footsteps.
Yeah.
Something is getting closer, but doesn't seem to have noticed anybody yet. The elves seem to have disappeared. Currently, there's just an elk that is standing by a tree.
How far am I into my ritual? Because I would have started it right after waking Aelin up and
Right. I mean, it's been probably like 7 minutes because they weren't terribly far from the ship, and at the pace that they were running, you're probably by now finished.
So as soon as I finished, I would have like spice remembered Aliquin. Aliquin, are you there?
Yes. Me, Iskra, Sonder, we're here. I'm assuming the rest of the party's here, or getting closer to like where we are.
Okay, me and Aelin are back on the ship with Granny and the kids. Turn your spice members that way I can listen in on you.
Sure. Yes. They're creatures here with us. I'm assuming we're about to fight.
So, in the distance in front of you, you can see a shadow that moves out from one of the trees. A solitary figure, probably almost a little bit smaller than the giants that you guys had seen before. And you can see that it looks like it's wrapped in this leathery cloak that's kind of wrapped around its body. But then it kind of, as it steps out towards you, it just focused in your direction. You can see that the leather kind of undulates and moves, and like shakes the water off it. And these large wings spread out in this wide 15-foot wingspan. The creature, as it like takes a step towards you, and you can sense that presence of death and decay. You see it brings its hand that had been resting up against its chest and brings it out. And it has what looks like a shepherd's crook. This crook that you have seen before in various the various shepherds will carry, whereas normally it looks rather benign. This wood looks gnarled and blackened, almost like as if it had been struck by lightning, and nothing but charred, bent, crooked wood that kind of comes up in this almost looks like lightning, but just it's in shattered wood pieces that kind of comes over into this crook. It taps it on the ground. Boosh, boosh. And you hear this loud resounding, or a low resounding like thrum, that kind of like passes out along the ground. And in another brief flash of light, the lightning goes across the sky. You see what looks like shadows that kind of peel off from it. You see 4 shadows that just kind of 2 on each side that just kind of peel off from its body itself. As it takes another step towards you, the light that catches it from your eyes, it almost looks like you are staring it into like a night sky. As there are parts of its body that seem to be shimmering with like stars along this very thin, slender man-esque like body that lies beneath these wings, and it like runs for you. It walks very cautiously towards you. The 4 shadows kind of keeping pace with it. I'm going to use this. I don't have a crazy winged creature. And it's 4 shadows that seem to be following alongside of it. Okay. And your body kind of tenses as you see it kind of just slowly walk toward you. Not in a super menacing way, but in a very cautiously moving in your direction.
Okay, so it's him with the crook, and then these shadows that are with him.
Yeah, they look like in the occasional flash of light. As an elf, you don't really have dark vision, though, right?
No.
So in the flashes of light, it looks almost like a transparent hooded person. It just kind of follows along, not really moving with footsteps, but just kind of hovering alongside of it. And that is when. Go ahead.
Oh, how far away are they?
They are about. About 50, 60 feet away.
Okay. I want to try something, but whenever you're ready.
Okay, well, I was going to say, as it's creeping towards you, that's when you feel that something lands on your back, claws grabbing into you.
Ouch.
I'd like you to roll initiative.
Oh no.
Does it let out a scream?
I would imagine there is a loud elk yelp.
Yelp.
An elk yelp, which as I don't know if you've ever heard elk noises before, but
It's creepy as
they
fuck.
are creepy as fuck.
I got a 17.
17.
I also got a 17.
17.
My
Overall,
initiative is +3.
Sandra, what was yours?
17 as well.
No, what's your initiative bonus?
+4.
Okay, so we'll put you at 8, just so that you'll be going first in that.
Okay.
Iskra,
15.
15.
Oh shit. Here
Alec
the
win?
Dauntless music.
15.
15 also. Wow, you guys are all just like pairing up. What's your initiative bonuses?
Mine's +3.
+3. Alec win?
Oh shit! +3.
Okay.
That shit
Let's.
+3.
Nice.
Let's see.
We are that much of a team.
But
Yeah,
no, seriously,
that's fine.
we're alike. It's okay.
We'll just put that way. You guys can just determine whoever goes first. That's fine. Galil, what's yours?
16.
16. Kindred.
Okay.
We are ready. Oh,
But he's on the ship, isn't he?
Nat 20.
Nice.
So 21.
21. Perfect. All right. So use this. This creature digs its claws into your body. Soul. There, as you feel this weight just suddenly fall on you from one of the branches above, you hear the screech of some raised creature as it like lashes at you. Its first attack is a 4, so that's not gonna hit. The second attack, as it bites down at you, it tries to claw at your body, but you buck and move it just as you can feel the claws raking against your skin, but it doesn't seem to do too much damage. You do feel a bite as it rolled a 28 to hit on its bite. So
Okay.
you take 8 slashing damage plus 6 necrotic damage. As you feel this bite tear it into the side of your rib cage as this creature falls off to the side, you can feel that brief of like some sort of deathly feeling of like death, deathly feeling of death into your body. But that was that little surprise that had fallen from the sky above, from the ground above. Oh man, my words today.
You're done. It's okay.
All right, so then
So, with that much damage, I revert back to
Okay.
myself. And then I carry over, I think, 1 hit point of damage, if I understand that correctly.
okay. So I got a little druid person for you now.
Okay.
Galil, you are over here.
Soul is a tank. Nice.
All right. So all right. So let's see. The next to move is this creature as it now lumbers forward. Oh, it's gonna fly actually. You see these large leather wings just like flap as it like leaps up over into the air, comes down closer with a loud little thud. You guys see it around, I guess, those of you who are still hiding in your little cubby hole there. But it is going to, seeing that you have reverted back to your original shape, you see its arm extend out, and in a low tone of voice, as it reaches out to you, you feel your whole person freeze for a moment. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Who is it that has to roll?
Soul.
Okay. Ooh, that's a 1 on the die.
All right. As you hear these words that kind of echo and reverberate out through the forest, You feel every sinew of your body freeze as you are now paralyzed in and unable to move. It says stunned, but I know I have a paralyzed one somewhere, but that's fine. So that is it freezes you in place. All right. So that ends its turn. Sonder, it is now your turn.
Ooh. This thing has landed. How tall is it?
Currently, that it is probably 9 feet tall or so.
Okay.
It's a rather large creature.
I'm going to run up to it with my. I don't know. I'm gonna run up to it with my staff and attack.
Okay. So Sonder leaps through his little barrier of water that kind of splashes around him, almost like broken glass. You leap out and strike him.
First hit is a 15 to hit.
15 to hit. Misses.
Second. Wow, this sucks. I got a 10 to hit.
Both attacks. The first attack you see as it turns to you, and you strike it with your staff. It lowers its staff in place, and you just hear the loud crack of wood on wood. You try and strike it again, but it blocks you with its free hand. It just kind of shoves the stick away from it, looking down at you.
Sonder yells out, and then he'll go ahead and use a key point to do flurry of blows and attack unarmed.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Oh no. Okay. Alright.
I know what's happening now. Okay.
Ooh, 18.
18?
18?
For that moment of while you're in its presence, you hear these like whispers in your mind that seem to threaten to drive you mad. You hear screams of like people in pain and in agony. Things that sound like there's something coming from nightmares. People pleading for their help, and for the moment, it's so overwhelming being this close. As you look up at this creature, it breathes down at you. You can see the warmth kind of coming from nostrils with no eyes above it. Just the hot breath goes, and you shrug it off. Just like shake your mind and steel your resolve.
Okay. Those next two strikes, unarmed strikes, are going to be 20 to hit and 22 to hit.
Okay, those both hit.
Then I'm going to go ahead and use, see if I can do stunning strike on it.
Stunning strike?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. What is your the DC?
ECU Wisdom 16. Sorry, fails a Constitution saving throw of
Constitution.
Yeah.
17.
Fuck. And then I'll try it again. I'm gonna
just try it again.
Yeah.
On the second strike. All right. Second strike is 19, actually.
Okay. It'll still take damage, hopefully.
Yep.
Then that's going to be, let's see, 9 and 9.
9 and
18 damage total.
All right. Alrighty. So as you still manage to you try and find these the purchase or where you can find where its key points are as you bash into its body. It's kind of like those movies where that really small person's trying to beat up the really tall person and they're just like beating on its chest and nothing's happening. It's kind of the visual that you have going on here. Except that that normally is like this really beefy person, this creature seems so slender and frail. It looks like it would break with a strong impact, but with each punch, you just feel solid flesh beneath it. And it doesn't seem to have any effect as you're trying to stun
I'm gonna yell out, don't touch it with your skin.
All right.
That's
Ends your turn.
yeah.
Alrighty. Next up then is Soul. Soul, it is your turn. You are currently paralyzed.
Okay, so I got to roll to beat it, right?
At the end, yes. So, at the end of your turn, yes, you make another wisdom save.
Okay.
You can feel like the
15.
dark 15. Your body still seems frozen. You can feel like the dark tendrils of this whatever kind of magic this is holding you in place. Okay. So then that brings us to Galil. It is now your turn.
They all beat me in initiative.
Well, you're no, they didn't. But you're still on the ship.
Oh, because I was gonna. Since I can hear them, I was gonna start heading that way.
Okay, so you're gonna start moving that direction.
Yeah, well, I would have turned to Aelin and asked if he could bless me, and if he did it right away, yes. But if he hesitated, I'm just gonna take off towards them.
He kind of like in the moment, just like what?
And so I just take off running in the direction.
All right.
yeah. And on the way, cast invisibility.
Okay. So, what you have? What's your run speed?
30.
30. I'm assuming you're gonna try and dash.
Yes.
So you get 260. Got it. All right, Galil, what are you doing?
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is come up not too close, but get closer to it to where I'm 15 feet away from him.
You get up to there.
Yeah. But a little bit to this side still.
Like closer to Aliquin or closer to this other tree?
Tree.
Over there?
And then I'm gonna Radiant Conception.
All right.
Take off the hood.
Nice.
And it'll help with anybody who can't see in the dark, because I'm gonna shine 10 feet bright light and 20 feet dim light.
Okay. So as like
Cool.
Galil runs out into the area, throws back his hood, and suddenly his normal appearance becomes. Is effervescent the right word?
Solar flare.
So he basically just becomes bright as this whole area is bathed in light around you, becoming a very veritable beacon of light. These spectral wings fly out from behind his back. Are they the fiery ones or the regular light ones? The fiery ones. The fiery ones. So it's like these wreathed in flames as these wings shoot out from his back, filled with almost like a mixture of white and black light that just kind of radiates out from his back. All right. Is there anything else that does, or that was it? Just costs light.
I mean, it does 9+ for damage, and anyone within 10 feet of me gets hurt.
Okay, so no one's currently within 10 feet.
I know. Bonus action: pull out a hot pepper, Dragon's Breath, at 3rd level.
At 3rd level.
That's funny.
Alrighty. So,
I'm gonna eat the bitch.
all right. So let's see here. I thought I had.
The Leo is scintillating.
Is it a 15-foot cone, right?
Yep.
So, from where you're at, that would get him. All
How is
right.
Khalil being scintillating any different from normal?
This is true. He's always scintillating. So the fire breath blows out across the foliage. You can hear the air and the water in the air just kind of immediately sizzle and evaporate into steam as this fire roils out in front of him. Dex save.
14.
14.
And yeah, it's gonna be fire.
He rolled a 12.
Yay!
So as he turns in time to see this bright light, you can see it shield its face, even though there are no eyes that seem to be on the top of its head. And now, for the first time, you guys can fully see how large and creepy this creature is that is standing there in the woods around you. As it has this like skeletal head with no eyes and almost like a not quite like a Viking's helmet, but like this metal helmet that has these long horns that kind of curve out like longhorn style. Just these long metallic horns. These large black wings extend outwards, and one of them kind of brings itself around it to try and shield itself, but doesn't seem to do it in time as the flames lick at his darkness.
And that's 23 damage.
23 damage. All right. You can hear it roar in pain at the attack. That was a really short roar.
Scary.
That's fine. As it roars, you can see its mouth open, almost like that just enough to make it unnerving how far down its jaw goes, with its mouth just filled with these needle-like teeth. So that ends your turn, I'm assuming?
Yep.
Alright, Aliquin, it is now your turn. Or Aliquin or Iskra, whichever one of you wants to go first.
Iskra can go first. That's good.
Iskra, you go ahead!
I gotta like push her out first.
You go.
Like a little shove. I coalesce the water around me and try to cast water at Whip. I'm gonna spend 3 key points and focus on the beast that is paralyzed soul.
Nice.
Okay. That creature is on the other side of Soul over here. Do you want to move around to it, or you're just... What are you doing?
So if it's within 30 feet, I can strike it just where I'm from.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna...
So as you
try to-
coalesce the water, it just forms this like tube of... Almost looks like a swirling tube of jet water that kind of comes back around. And as it gets to the other side of Soul's body, it slams down with this loud cracking sound. Go ahead and make your attack. Is it an attack roll, or does he have to dodge?
So it has to do a dex saving throw of 15. And if it fails, it still takes half damage unless it has something to mitigate
It
that.
rolled a natural 17.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Alright, well, thankfully it still takes half damage. So that's 15. It would be 25, but half.
Nice.
Okay. So halved, you said it was 15? Right?
It would have been 25.
Oh, okay.
Does it have to do any concentration checks if it's keeping me paralyzed, or is that separate for what my paralyzed?
It doesn't seem to be the source of the thing that is causing you the paralyzation.
But yeah, I tried to like take the tube and like smack it down on its head.
On the one, yeah, on this one, right?
Yeah,
Or you're doing this guy, the big guy or the little one?
the little one.
The little one. Okay, yeah. All right. All right. So that ends your turn then, right?
I think I
Or
get
you still have
two
movement.
actions, right? So I guess I could do
Two actions
movement.
if you attack, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you still have bonus action and movement.
Okay, so for my no, that's all.
Okay. Okay. So, Aliquin, it is now your turn.
So it's just these two right here.
That you can see at the moment, yeah.
I
Well,
can see
yeah.
it. Okay. Where am I at on there?
You
small.
are right. You can
Okay.
you can click on the map if you want to make it bigger.
Arr.
Pin video.
Oh, yay. Okay. Cool.
Uh,
Alrighty. Well, I'm going to move to. I'm going to move to the right over here.
this-
Well,
well, this is a tree. You mean this direction?
yes.
To your right?
Well, my character's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that way I can see both of the creatures, and I'm going to do Eldritch Blast, but I'm going to do both of them. I'm going to aim for the first guy and the second guy.
Alrighty. Go ahead and make your attack rolls.
So the first Eldritch Blast, it's +8, and that's going to be a 19 for the first one.
19 hits.
And the second one is going to be 17.
17 also hits.
Okay. So for the attack for the first one, it is a 13.
Attack for 13 damage.
And that's going to be for the big guy.
Alright.
And the second one is going to, I don't like this.
Is it force damage, right?
Yep.
Good question. Yeah. For Eldritch
Yeah,
Blast,
for
it's
Eldritch Blast.
force damage, and the second one is 8.
Alright.
So as soon as I run out that way, I put my hands together and I form 2 Eldritch Blasts simultaneously, and I cast it at the same time.
In either direction.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Alright. So that ends your turn then? As both those blasts arc through the light, through the night air, illuminating even more the surrounding area. Iskra. Oh no, you already went. From the bushes behind you, Aliquin, you hear the sound of two people approaching, and quickly glancing over your shoulder, you see the two cloaked individuals coming up, bows drawn. They kind of take a quick look around, see the giant creature, pull back, and fire off their arrows. Oh my god. Okay. One out of the 4 shots hits.
What?
They can go home. They can go home.
I turn behind me. Great job, guys.
You hear both of them. You can see some of the arrows actually strike the creature, but it seems to bat it away with its wings as it turns around in this very straight out of hell moment of this large winged beast just swatting things out of the way. Fire still kind of burning at some of the underbrush from where Galil spewed it out, kind of lit the area with both his light and the fire itself. That ends their turn. You hear another yowling scream as another creature similar to the one that had attacked Soul falls from the canopy above and lands prone in the bushes here. A couple of arrows in its side as it is trying its best to tear them out. It rights itself as from this direction back here there are two more of the individuals that come out, having fired off their arrows at the creature that had been up in the bushes. The one that's in front of Soul, now that it's its turn, rears back after having taken the Eldritch Blast, and now makes another 2 attacks at the paralyzed Soul. One with its bite, which is a natural 20.
Wow.
On that one. So it brings it to a total of 28 on that.
Damn.
So, you suffer 12 slashing damage and 4 points of necrotic damage from its bite. Its second attack
Another natural 20.
yeah. Okay.
So, no.
You will be missed.
As you take 18 points of slashing damage on that second bite, and a subsequent two points of necrotic damage on that last attack. As it just grabs onto your body, almost like something mixed between some zombie and vampire, and just starts chomping into your paralyzed form. This other creature here is going to run in the direction of that one of the elves and do the same sort of attack.
How much necrotic damage was that?
The last one was 2. The last point total altogether, or just that last one?
Yeah, altogether.
Um,
4 and 2?
yes.
Okay.
That ghastly creature, his first attack misses, the second attack hits. You can see as it tries to take a bite, the ranger dodges backwards and kind of spins out of the way before it lashes out with these longer than normal human arms. Its edges of its claws just raking across the ranger's back. You can hear this loud, shrill scream in pain as they take damage. All right, so that brings us to the top of the round. Kindred, you are continuing to run, dash.
Well, how far away am I at? Because
You don't.
my actual movement, I'll do the 30 feet. Because do I see the lights flashing or anything?
You can see. You can kind of see. They are about 300 feet from the ship right now, so you can kind of see through the woods a little bit of a light in the distance where they might be at, but it's still quite a ways off.
11.
11. Okay. Alequin.
So I have advantage on wisdom, so I got a 17.
17. Nice. So all of you hear the same noises that Sonder heard. The screaming, the yelling, people crying in fear, not so much pain. Some of them in pain. Most of them are just the sounds of terrified nightmares fill your head. Iskra, they seem to shriek extra loud for whatever reason in yours. You suffer 11 points of psychic damage as this nightmare seems to infiltrate your head enough to cause you physical anguish from the screams and loud sounds of like howls and yelps, and it's discordant nightmare.
I scream, not again, and clutch my head, thinking about when the vampire got into my brain back in Ravnica.
Yeah. Yeah, basically it's a very similar experience. All right. And so with that, it is going to make an attack as it sweeps down at you, Sonder, since you are the closest, with its claws. That is going to be a natural 1. So that misses.
Does it fall on its face?
Yeah, just magical banana peel just appears out of nowhere and it falls on his face and dies. The end. Oh no! As it swoops its hands towards you, one of its claws, and you dodge expertly out of the way. It uses its momentum and strikes you with the back of its staff. That would be a 18 to hit.
It's not hit.
It's not hit. All right, so as the staff, you see it flying towards you as it kind of does this continuous motion of a spin. You bring your staff up and deflect the larger staff with yours, making a loud cracking sound. Pretty epic. Good job.
That was cool.
Cool.
I can imagine it.
You now, in the light, you can see the movement of shadows as the shadow creatures that it had called now just seem to rise from the ground around it. There.
Where's around it?
So each of these creatures reaches out towards the victims closest to it. So I am going to see the one closest to Soul is just going to move in their direction. This one's going to move over to Sonder. You can see the shadows just reaching out to try and grab you. They have terrible attack rolls, apparently.
Good.
So this one rolled a 12 against Sonder. The one against Galil rolls an 8. The one against Iskra rolls a 9. As these shadows seem to try and reach for you, you all are able to kind of dodge out of the way enough to where you are not affected.
It's just move out of the way.
Yeah, just like or whatever, you know. Gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. So that ends this creature's turn. It is now Sonder's turn.
I'm gonna go for it again. I'm gonna try to stunning strike it. So I'll take my staff again. Let's
Okay.
see.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna take my staff and attack 2 times. That is a 10 and then a 19.
The 10 misses, the 19 hits.
Okay. That's gonna be 7 points of damage.
All right.
I'm gonna try to stunning strike that guy. So that's gonna be the save against a 17 Constitution.
Constitution 17.
Sorry, 16. 16.
Natural 20. So this thing will roll nicely, but everything else doesn't apparently. That's fine.
I'm gonna say fuck it, and then I'm gonna take out a dagger, and no, let's see.
Soul, you're up next.
Okay.
I will, as a bonus action,
Because
disengage,
okay.
and then I'm going to run up the tree to the right of me.
This one.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna
You're
vertically run
back up.
and
All
then
right, where
come up
where
around.
where are
come
you
up
going?
around.
There are no branches.
What do you mean?
Within
I'm
your-
running a vertical. I can run up vertical places. So I'm gonna run up the tree and around it to where the other side of the guy who's attacking Soul is at.
Over here.
Yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. What's your movement?
45.
So you can get up and around, and then if you want to try and just
We'll
leap
drop on
down,
him.
go ahead and
Yeah.
make a dexterity check for me. As you disengage, you see the shadow reaching for you, kind of do this tuck and roll backwards, gather momentum, and run up the side of the tree, doing a nice little arc around and do a flip over
Is it dexterity
Souls.
or
dexterity. Just do it.
acrobatic?
Yeah, just do a dex. Just do a dexterity save. Like, yeah.
Dexterity saving?
No, just regular.
Oh, just then it's an 8.
8. Your feet kind of slip out from under you, and you almost kind of do like a splits before you kind of like right yourself again. Nothing terrible, but not quite as graceful as you had anticipated. But you are now up to the side. In that last attack, though, you can feel the magic around you, Soul, dissipate as his concentration was lost on that last strike.
Cool.
So it was the big guy that was holding you in place.
Oh, good. Okay, cool.
So that ends your turn, Sonder.
Yeah.
Soul, it is now your turn. You now feel your body released from the magic that had held you. What are you doing?
Okay, so I am casting Fairy Fire. It's a 20-foot cube, and it's targeting. If I can get the two shadows in front of me, that guy next to me, and maybe even the big guy, I'm not too sure. I can't tell what the squares are. So that it's just them and behind them that get hit with Fairy Fire.
So, like this guy, you can get this guy and one of the guys in front of him.
Couldn't I do the three that are in front of me?
If you do it like that, yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
So you can try and target all four of them because it would fit, yeah, within that space.
No, they need to try to make a dexterity saving throw.
All right. For the big guy, he rolls a 16.
The save DC, if not mistaken, based on my spell attack, right, is 17.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. He. Oh wait, hold on. I forgot. He actually does roll with advantage against magical effects.
Good to know. Good to know.
The second one, he does roll a 19. So that one fails. The two shadows that are in front of him.
They die.
One rolls you said dexterity, right?
Yeah.
One is a 16. The second one is a 14, so both of those fail. And then the other creature rolls a 2. So, what does Fair Fire do?
So any attack roll against them has advantage on it, on them, and the affected creature or object can't benefit from being invisible.
Okay.
That's cool.
it causes a violet light to surround them.
Perfect for this music that sounds oh so very happy.
As a bonus action, where is it?
All right, let's use these. So these have, we'll just say that these are advantage circles.
Okay.
As now those 3 there are surrounded in this glowing light. So what are you doing, Sol? What's your bonus action you said?
Bonus action is I'm doing a hidden step. I turn invisible until the start of my next turn.
Alrighty. So turn invisible.
And then, 'cause I think I can still move, right?
Yes. They will get
I can't
they will get attacks of opportunity on you, but it'll be a disadvantage because you're invisible.
Okay. No, in that case, I'll just stay there then.
Okay. Just kind of just turn invisible in that moment, and just you can see the shadows kind of like move their heads or their amorphous heads in directions trying to find where you may have gone. Galil, it is now your turn. You're on the other side of the winged beast.
I'm gonna go ahead and move to behind the big dude.
Gonna move over here. All right. So moving through the underbrush there, the creature that was standing behind you does get a swipe at you, but with its luck lately, I rolled a 13.
Oh.
So you kind of dodge out of the way as you just feel like the shadows trying to cling at your feet, but you pull away regardless. All right, what are you doing?
Well, I still have my Dragon's Breath on, so I'll use that 15-foot cone in front of me.
All right. So as you run forward again, you kind of like pound your chest a little bit and let out this belch of fire as it explodes out from you in that cone. You should be able to get at least. Well, no, but these 3 for sure. Yeah. Where's my
Dex
little
14.
X14? Yeah. You can get those 3. X14, big guy rolls. A 14. Roll the 12 on the dice. And then the 2 shadows. With theirs is a 19 for one, and the second one is a 6. So
the
one
that
one
rolled a
fails.
6, yeah, the one that failed
Yeah.
takes 16, 17, 18 plus 9. That's 27, right?
Yes.
That one takes 27, and then the other 2 take half damage.
Okay, hold on. They take half damage.
Yeah. The ones that pass take half damage.
And the full damage was what?
16, 27.
Okay, so one of them, the one that fails, as the other shadow kind of disappears into the ground. Actually, no, both of them just disappear into the smoke and fire. As the fire rolls past and over them, there's nothing left but these little ashen heaps there on the ground. All right.
And then end my turn, and he takes 5 damage. Anything within
10
what
feet?
you call it? Yeah. I mean, I do too, but still.
All right. All right. Is it Aliquin or Iskra? Which one are you going next? Iskra? Okay.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Iskra?
I'm gonna
Have
try to
a
use my water whip on the big guy this time.
Okay.
And then for my bonus action, I'm gonna just use my fists against the shadow in front of me.
All right. Yeah. So you bring that, maneuver the water around and smack it towards the big guy, and make your the attack roll there. Or is it
Well,
Dex?
Yeah, it just needs to save at a Dex of 15.
I rolled a 18.
Okay.
The big guy is doing okay. It's the little guys that aren't doing shit. They're just more annoying than anything else.
So it takes 5 damage.
5 damage? Okay. Hey, 5 damage is 5 damage, you know?
And then I just try to lay a fist into the little shadow in front of me.
Alrighty. Go ahead and make your attack rolls then.
That is just a 9.
Just a 9?
Yep.
Okay. That misses. Right? Yes, that misses. So, you said 2 attacks, right? Or just the 1? I got lost.
Well, so I did my one action, right? Which
Oh,
was,
okay. Yeah, and then the bonus
water
action.
whip, and then
Okay.
my bonus action was the thing.
Okay.
Was
So yeah, that
my
missed.
punch.
All right. I thought there was another attack in there, and I got lost for a second. Okay. So as you try to punch the shadowy ghost-like figure, your fist passes through it, and it seems to have created a momentary aperture in its shadow form. That as soon as you pull back, it just kind of closes back up into a normal shape again. All right. That ends your turn. Aliquin, it is now your turn.
You bring the camera up a little bit.
Yeah.
I want to see who's closer. Okay, so there's
There's one creature that is over here. A shadow creature that's over here. There's a shadow creature that's back here. The main big guy. This ghouly fellow, and there's another ghouly fellow on the other side.
okay. So I'm going to see all the craziness that's going on right now, and I want to say a good 5 feet away from the big guy. I'm going to cast Fireball, and it's going to be getting the big guy and the little bitty ghoul guy right here. Yeah. So I can cast it in the middle to make a 20 feet.
Sure. So you're doing fireball, right?
Yes.
I heard that correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. All right, so you're trying to go like that, because this is the range of fireball.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you hit the elves.
Ooh, I didn't do with the elves.
I mean, you can either hit the elves and take all 3, or if you move it back a little bit, but you'll be hitting Galil as well.
Damn.
Leo, what's your dexterity?
What are you guys doing?
Oh, fuck,
Hit me
okay.
instead. I don't take. Oh, I mean. I'm a-
What are you gonna do?
Shit. Can I aim it I don't want to hit the elves at all, but I do still want to cast it.
All right,
Is there any way I can angle it to where it's I can
it's a
only hit
sphere.
them?
It's
It
a
is a
sphere.
sphere. It is a
Yes, it's just a ball of explosion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Wolf explosion.
what are you gonna do?
I casted it, and I'm not gonna hit the elves.
Okay. So as you flame on, what's the DC that they need to meet?
Dexterity is a 16.
16.
So
Has burned to death. You smell the burning flesh of.
Let's see here. I do feel like I have somewhere. Oh yeah, there it is. There's the.
That's cool.
As a fireball flies outwards. Sorry, was that really loud?
That was really cool. That was fun.
A lot loud. As it just explodes out in the air in the area. The big guy, his dexterity saving throw, right?
yes, 16.
He rolls a 17 on his. The ghouly fellow rolls a 12 on his. This ghouly fellow rolls a 15 on his, so the two ghouls fail.
So only the big guy takes half damage. So the damage on that's going to be a 50 because it's 10d6.
What level did you cast it at? Damn.
Everything.
Max level, 5th level.
Sorry.
So the elves burn.
No, I intentionally missed them. But what did Galil roll for dexterity?
Oh well, it depends. Are you trying? Are you missed them and moved it back a little bit, so it'd go towards Galil?
So I didn't,
23.
It was one or the other.
well, I did not want to hit the elves at all. So
Okay.
I moved it closer,
Okay.
like away from them.
All right.
23.
23. All right. So he succeeded. So how much damage was it? You said 50 total.
50 fucking even.
All right. So these guys both failed. All right. So, oh, and then the big guy would have been, was it 20?
25 for him. If I would have had another spell slot, I would have used Hex. But
All right. So, as you fire off the bolt of fire that then explodes outwards and around you guys, Galil, you see this flash of light as the fire engulfs part of you, and you can see that the large creature seems to try and shield itself, bringing its wings around its body to try and hide as much as it can from the flames. The entire area around you guys becomes this bright lit bomb. Kindred, you see in the distance as you're running through the forest, running towards where you can see the light and the magic effects, this loud, familiar sound of the roaring fire and the explosion detonation, and a loud flash of light, or
Just have a
bright
big
flash
grin
of
on
light.
my face.
Both of these creatures get turned to ash as they both failed their saving throws and burned. You can see the charred hunks on the ground that are slowly shriveling and compacting on themselves.
Scintillating.
Yes, definitely. Very scintillating. All right. So that ends your turn, I suppose.
yeah, I was gonna drop my hands to the side and just pant.
The archers that are still up at the moment. You can see one of them over here is still pretty badly wounded from the attack with the creature. All of them seem to have this wide-eyed expression of surprise from the large explosion that has cleared out this swath of detonation, you can feel the heat still rising from the ground. They take a quick second to kind of like shake it off, pull back their bows, and all start firing again. The arrows, as they fly. Oh my god. So as they're flying, you can see that the creature now encased itself with its wings, releases its wings out almost simultaneously as the arrows start scattering around it. Some of them piercing holes through the creature's leathery wings, while others seem to just ricochet off like helmets and other armored bits. One of the other elves runs up this way past you, Sonder, like, "Do not let it escape!" And she fires off another volley of arrows towards it. That brings us to the top of the round. Kindred.
So I'm 210 feet away, so I'm going to move my action 30 feet. That puts me 180. So then I'll dash to get to 150 to it. But on the same time I'm running, I'm yelling at everybody through my spice member who can hear me. Everybody has 6 seconds to get away from it. I'm blasting it or suffer the damage.
I'm good.
Sounds about right. Sounds on brand. All right. So what are you guys doing? That was it. That's all. You're just letting them know.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm letting him know my next round. Something's happening.
All right. Okay. All right. So then that brings us to the creature's turn. Now, seeing that it seems to have found itself completely surrounded, it is going to leap upwards. I don't have my normal little stand. I'm looking for something I can set it on. All right, it's going to leap up into the air. Galil, you do get an attack of opportunity as it leaps up.
I rolled a 19.
That hits.
Plus,
You're-
I'm using rapier, so
You're muted, Sonder, if you were saying.
You get advantage on it because of the fairy fire, still, right?
It didn't get fairy fire.
It didn't get on him. It was the other ones that got it. Oh yeah, you're rolling.
So 11 damage.
11. Nice. So as you and this is with your rapier or something.
Yep.
So as it does the low beat of its wings to launch itself into the air, you manage to stab it in the leg as it's like roars out in pain as it flies up. And it's now about 10 feet into the air. I need. Oh no, I've been doing this wrong this whole time. Oh well.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Depends on your point of view. Okay. It is now going to move in this direction to be closer that way. All right. So now it is going to. You can hear the voice as it turns its attention to you, Galil. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. As it now starts whispering in a discordant, abyssal sounding language.
19.
19. You can hear the commands going through your mind of
betrayal. You want to betray.
but you shake your mind from it, and the suggestion seems to be lost.
Ooh. Fuck.
Um,
They said that in Infernal?
no, well, in an abyssal style
okay.
language. As it now flies up in the air, that it seems to be all it's going to do. Okay. It is now flying up. The shadow creature that is there by Iskra is going to try and make a leap at you. A 3. I don't understand. The dice are favoring you, oh favored one. This one is gonna run up to Aliquin and try to get Aliquin. Oh wow, yeah, no, that's
No, whack.
yeah, basically.
If I can't hit
14.
it, it's not gonna hit me.
14 to hit.
It would have hit me if I didn't have armor on. But no.
So nope, that didn't work either. Okay, that's fine. Sonder, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
You are up next. What I was doing per round is supposed to be individually at the start of your turn. So that's why I was saying like the whispers thing was not every time at its start of its turn. It's at the start of end of y'all's turn.
Oh, so if you're like near it, you start to go mad, basically.
Yes.
Like just being in its proximity. I got a 15.
15?
Yeah.
All right. So you do take some damage.
Oh, now.
You take a whopping 13 points of psychic damage as the screams and noises that you guys have been hearing this whole time sink into your mind finally and cause you physical pain. But it is now your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna use. I'm gonna grab my serpentine owl as an action, speak the command word, and fly up with it to the beast.
Oh, okay. All right. So you guys watch as Sonder pulls out this little figurine of an owl, and as he speaks, it glows for a moment, and then morphs into this large giant owl that then grips him and pulls him up into the air.
I'm gonna drop down on this creature and attack as I'm going, and then the owl will also, on my turn, is able to make an attack.
If you use your action you can use, I guess you're doing bonus action attack, because use your action to use the owl figurine.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. And I'll do a flurry of blows if I can.
Okay.
And that's going to be. It's going to be a 17 to hit.
Misses.
And a 15 to hit.
Both miss.
I'm going to.
Nope.
Damn.
So so the owl just like lifts you up. Is not holding you then, right?
He can. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm asking because how are you doing the attacks, and how is it going to attack? Because it uses its claws.
It uses talons. I'll just have it keep me in the air then.
Okay. So it's keeping you in the air, and as you fly towards it, as its giant wings are flying, you kind of do like a little kid being picked up. You do like a little kick towards it with both feet, and both feet come up short, just whoosh whoosh, missing its head as it like flies backwards to get away from you.
And then, see.
So that's your bonus action. You only have is like you already used your action, so I think that's the end of your turn.
I'll go ahead and fly up and away, from the creature.
Okay, you're just flying like back from it.
Fly up.
Fly up from it. All right.
Yeah.
It's gonna swing at you.
That's fine. My owl, however, has a thing where it doesn't provoke opportunity attack from a creature if it's
Right.
within range. So
It doesn't, but you do.
it doesn't. That's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's gonna try and grab you with its claws, and that would be a 17. So no.
Does not make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the claws, as you kick at it and you start flying up higher, it reaches its arm out to try and claw at you, just barely raking across your boots, but finding no purchase. Soul, it is your turn.
Okay. So I'm going to move a little bit closer to where those elves are.
Okay, so you are here now. There's one here.
Yeah.
There's two here. Which direction are you going? And there's someone
The
back there.
one by the one where there's two.
This one, or these?
Yeah, just a little bit closer to the ones that you
Okay.
pointed at first. Where I'm
How
in
far?
between the
How
green,
many? How far are you going?
Do you see where the in between the green spots are?
Here.
Yeah, how many squares is that?
25, 30. It's 30 to get right here.
Okay, that's fine. And then I'm going to cast Moonbeam on the big guy. So,
Okay.
and it's going to be a. I'm casting it as a 3rd level spell,
All
which
right.
is going to increase its damage. So, what it does is it makes a silvery beam of pale light that shines down from the sky in a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder. It's a concentration spell. It lasts for 1 minute.
Alrighty.
And each creature in that spell's area for the first time on a turn that they start in, or if they move into that light, is engulfed by ghostly flames, cause searing pain, makes a Constitution saving throw, and it takes 3d10 radiant damage on a failed
All right. So
save.
it needs a Constitution saving throw then.
Right.
That's what I was waiting for. Okay. So con saving throw of, and what's your spell DC?
17.
It rolls a 23 on its Constitution saving throw.
So it takes half as much damage.
Alrighty.
This is not considered a shapeshifter, is it? A shape changer?
No,
Okay.
not that you know of.
Right. Well, because
Yeah, no, it would do something different. I got you. Yeah.
disadvantage. Yeah. Okay, so then it takes half of 3d10 damage.
All right. And then, Galil, you're up next.
How far up is it?
It is about 15 or so feet up right now.
Okay, I'm gonna get closer to it, and
Okay.
then fire upwards.
Oh, switching weapons?
No, still the.
Oh, the fire.
Okay.
Oh, the fire breath.
Yeah,
Okay, so it takes 11 radiant damage.
11 radiant damage. Got it. Amazing.
Yep. and then Dex.
As the moonbeam shines down from the sudden clear spot in the sky.
Oh, and a bonus action, I do hide.
Okay, so you try and hide into the
Yeah, I make a stealth check.
All right, so as the beam of light falls down, Galil runs up underneath it. You can see it's dodged partially out of the way. Parts of its arm and wing are now lit and blazing with this silvery white flame. And then from below, another burst gout of fire comes from Galil's gullet.
I got a 17 on my stealth check.
Okay. Dex save would be a 13.
Sweet. 21 damage.
As as it tries to fly away and avoid the moonbeam, it's just now caught from below as this explosion of fire arcs upwards. Okay.
And then bonus action, Misty Step. Because of the armor. Back
Okay.
that way.
Which direction? This way, that way.
Yeah,
That way?
this way.
This direction. So,
Opposite one, where I came from.
oh, this direction. Whoa!
Yeah. Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're going back and around the other side. Okay.
Yeah.
Back up against the tree. Across the field once again. Iskra, it's your turn. Oh, sorry. No, Soul was Soul was far enough away. Galil, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me. I'm forgetting.
Rolled 17 total.
17. All right. You managed to shake off the effect of the voices echoing through your mind. Iskra, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Eh, 15.
15. The voices, just the voices. You take 9 points of psychic damage. Just at the start of your turn. All right. So now what are you doing?
I try to focus through the screens, and I punch at the shadow in front of me again, and I water whip towards the big guy.
All right.
So I'm gonna like kind of swipe at the dude down below me with my actual hand, and then like try to force in that same motion. Get a water up.
I love it. All right. So dex save for him, right?
Dex save for him, yeah.
13.
All right.
So the water smacks him and is now being pummeled by all of these elements.
And so I can either choose to pull it towards me or knock it prone. I'm gonna knock it prone. So whatever that
Nice.
goes out, it's flying.
So now as it's flying, you see that gout of water that you pull from the very rain around you just swirls up and above and then comes crashing down in almost like a fist-like motion, bringing it slamming into the ground with this loud resounding crack as it once again screams out in pain and frustration. It falls to the ground and is now prone. All right. And then you're punching the other guy? Punching the shadow?
So the big guy takes 13 damage, and then the shadow... That, I imagine, is a hit. That's 26.
That hits.
Five damage.
5? Alright. Alright, as you punch at the shadow, your fists finally connecting as it seems to have keeps dodging out of the way. And for a moment, it seems distracted as the large beast seems to have called it by screaming out the way it did. It turns its attention towards it, and in that moment, you make impact. And this time, instead of your fist flying through it, it seems to connect with the key energy in your fist as you carve part of the shadow off, and you can see the shadow still clinging to your hand as you move past it, almost like trailing smoke through fire, or trailing smoke, follows your fist as you fly through that attack. Nice. Now on the ground. Oh, Aliquin is now your turn. I almost forgot.
Well, seeing the big guy fall.
I do need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
With me? Ooh.
Yes.
Okay. I have advantage on wisdom saving throws. So,
You.
So 19.
19. The voices, as loud and discordant as they are within your mind, you are able to steal your presence and focus through with your next actions. What are you doing?
Oh, that I shudder like as this is happening, and these two other shadow creatures that are in front of me. I'm gonna do another double Eldritch Blast, one to each.
Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, first one is a a 10 to hit,
That misses.
and the second one is a 22.
That one hits.
Okay, so that one that hits will be a 12.
12. All right. That one is the one that they're in front of Iskra, and as she just finished punching her fist through it, and you hear this weird wailing scream as it turns its attention back at Iskra, and you can see its form start to like lunge towards you, just as another bolt of energy flashes through where its head was, and it just evaporates from head to toe, just completely torn apart, and the shadows flying and falling into the rain and pooling around the ground as there is no longer a shadow creature there.
I have the shadow beast on my lap.
Yeah, I know. It's like, and the shadow beast appears in front of your face instead. All of the rangers now moving forward. They all take out their weapons and start firing arrows down at the creature where it stands. All right. You can see it now being pummeled with these arrows, like striking into its body. It roars out again in pain. Now, not so much frustration as you can hear the sense. It is a little bit of fear almost, and pain and agony as it starts scrambling to get up and move. The wings beating the ground around you guys. Brings us to the top of the round. Kindred. What are you doing? You're muted. For once.
Right. So using my movement to run 30 feet towards it, that puts me at the 120-foot range.
Yep.
Coming right up to the edge of my range, seeing it, I just stop and stand there, and I start casting, and as I drop my invisibility, you just see me standing in the middle there, and then I just do this movement, and I cast Synaptic Static right in the middle on it.
All right.
So everything in a 20-foot cube.
Oof. Okay. Let's see.
Yeah.
here.
20-foot sphere, radius sphere has to make an intelligence saving throw. DC is 17.
Oh. Oh, God damn it.
I told y'all.
Okay, so make a perception check for me. From the distance that you are at, in the dark, trying to see where it's at.
I have dark vision of 120 feet, though.
That's fine. It's
Okay.
still 120 feet away and slightly obscured behind a tree.
Nat 20. Ha!
Okay,
It
okay.
was like bouncing like 820, 820.
Nice.
Oh.
So we'll use the same thing here, and you kind of centered it over it.
Because that was like the only creature I could see and hear from everything,
The-
right? He's the only one. left?
Yes. So what is it that happens?
It's a sphere of psychic energy explodes in that area. So everything in 20 feet, intelligence saving throw.
All right. So, based on the range of this thing and guessing about where it's at, I would need Iskra, Sonder, Aliquin, and Galil.
I am in the air 60 feet up, so I am
It's a
safe.
sphere.
I'm in the
Okay.
air 60 feet up, so I'm okay.
Okay.
All right. So it's just Iskra, Aliquin, and Galil, and the shadow thing.
Nat
There's one
20.
shot. All right.
Advantage on intelligence.
Nat 20.
So you just see like this ripple effect just come out of nowhere. Don't
Little-
really see anything happen, but you feel it in your
wait.
head.
I have one of these things.
Exactly.
That's perfect.
Kind of more glass
no.
involved than that, but maybe it's this one. Yeah, either one.
There you
of
go.
those.
I like that. I like that.
I like the first one.
Like
Yeah.
the first one.
Okay. Now I know which one to use for future reference. All right. So
That was
would
a
you say
16 for me.
16 was the spell DC?
17.
All right. So then, what is the amount of damage?
8d6, and I rolled a 31 for damage.
Ouch.
Massive headache. Massive headache. And then everybody who saved.
Everyone who fails, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Everyone who fails has to roll a d6, and for 1 minute, they subtract that from their attacks, saving throws, and any ability checks they make.
Damn.
And what was it? And you said the damage was 30.
31.
My God. That doesn't
At
mean
least
that
it was
Iskar's
a 1 on
about
the
to.
d6.
All right. How do you want to do this? Because it
I
had
just want to do that. and
freaking
whenever-
30.
And when you see the ripple effect come out, his head just explodes.
Okay. So as that spell blasts out into the area, and those of you who still, if they save, do they take any damage still? Or
Half damage.
half damage? Okay.
I rolled a 15. I didn't make it.
Okay.
So-
Oh, were you
15?
in there?
I wasn't in there. Did you lower my
No.
hit points, Aaron?
No, I did not.
Okay, it shows wrong on the screen.
Okay.
Should
So
be 29.
I'm at 33
Galil, were you in that circle?
or 35.
Yeah.
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 I'm
Are you
this
dead?
Many.
No, I have
Now,
11
after
hit
this.
points now.
Hey, I warned y'all, and I swear
Hey,
remembered
you did.
everyone.
My teammates
Iskra-
are the
Iskra-
ones hurting me the most.
Iskra didn't have a thing on.
Iskra didn't have a headset on.
Y'all didn't tell her, give her a heads up. I figured y'all would have. Y'all are communicating.
I don't even have the headset on either.
Oh
so-
yeah, it's Galil didn't either.
Well, then blame
It
Saunders.
was just
And
it was
Eloquent.
Eloquent and Sonder were the only ones who heard it.
Iskra's gonna have some effects after this repeated mental trauma now.
No, seriously. You said
It
it was
is start-
30. What now?
Galil was gonna break the
31.
necks.
31.
31.
Okay. Ooh.
So as the creature now screaming in agony, you hear the high-pitched scream go to such a pained level that it just bursts. The top of its head bursts outwards from its helmet, and its body just winds laying there. Now in the darkness of this area, Galil, I guess your radiant consumption is faded by now, right? All right. So, as the moment seems to have passed,
And you just see me standing there, like off in the
Like-
distance, literally just like that.
okay.
But with a green cloak.
The
I
as
cast
you
Firebolt at Kindred.
okay, so as you guys are taking that moment, the shadow dissipated the moment that the creature exploded. The elves, the rangers, all run up to the creature. You see Vinren stop and standing over the body of the fallen creature. She takes a dagger out from her pouch, from her belt, and stabs it into the creature's chest. At last, the first part of the hunt is completed. She turns and looks to the rest of you. You fought well. I hope you're ready for more. And as you guys stop and kind of listen, you hear off in the distance the barking, yelping sounds of more creatures, like similar in sounds to the ones that the ghoul-like creatures were making, running through the forest and the underbrush, headed in your direction. And that is where we will end for tonight.
Can we take a nap first?
Run over. I'm gonna fly down to the first person that I saw get hit by that blast, and
All of us.
give
You
them
don't
my
really
poultice.
see it. It's just like a ripple effect. So unless they screamed, you wouldn't know it's psychic damage.
Oh yeah, I'd be
I
screaming.
think, yeah, I'm
Oh,
gonna go
yeah.
over to Iskra then and give her my poultice that I had. that you
All
gave
right.
me.
Well, we will pick up on that moment when we return next week after yet another wild and bananas field.
So can that kind of technically count as I slit his throat? Because I mean, his head lopped off.
His head's still attached. It's just gooey at the top. That's all. All right,
I'm just gonna
guys.
count that as a yes.
All right.
And first
We
off-
will. What?
I was gonna say I've never ever rolled that high in my life. Throwing that out there, never ever done
You-
that.
Yeah, that's
Screenshot.
pretty amazing.
That's awesome.
Well, you know,
Wow.
welcome to level 9
I
and stuff. It's
Yeah,
a
stands with
wild
level spells.
Right, shit.
This is true. All right. Well, we will see you guys next week. Peace.